All right, item number 7, Community Development Block Grant 2015 to 2019 Consolidated Plan, 215 to 216 Annual Action Plan, Citizens Participation Plan, and Neighborhood Revitalization Strategy. Mr. Gale.
Great. Thank you, Mayor Dukes and council members. It's a pleasure this evening to be before you to talk about our every 5 years. We have this opportunity to talk about our consolidated plan. And under the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which I will call HUD from now on, we are an entitlement community which receives funding on an annual basis through CDBG, Community Development Block Grants funds. And tonight is our opportunity to talk about this process, to hold a public hearing, take any comments that you might have and comments from the public, and then in 2 weeks we'll have another public hearing and then hopefully adopt this document. And there's a few parts of it. First is how do we go about with our, I kind of went through the first two quickly. So the consolidated plan and the process. First, we're extremely lucky to have an amazing staff member and consultant who put this together. Katrina Woods, the administrative analyst in Development Services Department, and Carol Stewart right here were the two that put this document together. I think as you saw, it's about 170 pages. A lot of time and effort and dedication went in. I'm just the one that gets to present it. So I wanted to recognize them and thank them for that effort. So how does that effort go? Our consultants meet with key stakeholders throughout the community and staff. And then one of the most important parts is citizen participation. And I'll talk a little bit about our citizen participation and how it improved this year and how we'll see it improving every year as some of the things that we did this year. What can CDBG funds be used for? They can be used for economic development, job training, first-time home buyer assistance, code enforcement, crime prevention, graffiti abatement, lighting in communities, senior services, youth activities. There are also what are called home funds, which we have to apply for. And we've received allocations in 2006 and 2011, and we still have money left over from those. And those can be used for rehab of existing residential structures, new construction, acquisition of land, but basically for affordable housing. So what were the priorities for the past 5 years? The priorities, and I think it's obviously important to look at what we did for the past 5 years as we present what the recommendations are in this year's consolidated plan. And those included public facility improvements, citywide capital improvements, a street and sidewalk. A significant amount of funds are used for ADA improvements, rehabilitation, and then interim assistance. And really, this could not be done without the partnership with a significant amount of nonprofit and providers within our communities. I know we have Freed here this evening, which provides a significant amount of assistance in providing services to the seniors and disabled community. Who have received the funds over the last 5 years? When it says public facilities here, included in that would be rehabilitations to the Salvation Army Depot, Butchie's Pool, the Housing Authority, and Richland Housing with some wells, and then sidewalks. Our housing and rehab projects, almost $500,000 over the past 5 years, have gone to a variety of different organizations, from Casa de Esperanza to the Senior Handyman Program through our Parks and Recs program. Public services, again, the Salvation Army has received funding. Hands Up Ministry has received funding, and we've also provided funding to our partners. Our partners with the Yuba City Homeless Consortium. I think I got that right. Yuba City, and all great organizations. So I want to talk about citizen participation. One of the things that staff tried to do this year was to try to engage the community better. And we had our best turnout yet of participation in responding to any type of survey, and we only had 49. but that was a significant improvement from where we've been in the past. And we engaged both our service providers and also the business community in trying to get some responses to these questions to identify what the priorities would be for our 2015-19 planning period. And those priorities came into housing, public services, infrastructure, public facility, and economic development. And really, it's in line with a lot of things that we had done in the past. And one of the things that was done in our last consolidated plan was our neighborhood revitalization strategy. And I'll talk a little bit more about how we've been able to expand that in our Great Hands event, our Hands event that we do each and every year. So this neighborhood revitalization strategy, which is a key part of the consolidated plan, is it provides us an opportunity of where we can fund projects within our CDBG program. CDBG is identified for low income neighborhoods and for economically disadvantaged communities. And this neighborhood strategy really assists us in generating neighborhood participation for long-term community development. It bridges that gap between local government agencies and the business communities in trying to provide assistance. And it fosters the growth of resident-based initiatives to identify and address housing and economic and human services need. I think you can see that in some of the areas that we've done our Hands event, as people have come behind and really take a pride in either home ownership or a neighborhood, even if they don't own a home. Here is the map, our updated map of the neighborhood revitalization strategy. It's expanded, and the expansion would be right here was Highway 99. It stopped here, so it's now goes all the way over to Walton, and then additionally, it also stopped at Highway 20, which would be, I think I'm just about right, and goes all the way up to Queens. So it's a significant expansion of our strategy. We still need to meet all the requirements that CDBG and HUD requires, but it's a great addition to see an expanded strategy within this neighborhood. Finally, there's the 5-year plan, and then there's the 1-year action plan. And this is a list of all of the agencies that currently are proposed to receive funding. The city received, for the first time, we did all online applications. We received 23 applications for a total of $1 million requested in funding. Of the 23 applications, 7 were declined for funding. So the majority of them received funding. And here is a breakdown of those funding for each organization, including general administration. At this time, I can answer any questions you might have and would ask that you open a public hearing so we can receive any comment that we might receive today from the public.
All right, thank you, Darren. Any questions of staff? All right, at this point, I'd like to open the public hearing. I have one speaker card on this item. Claudia Hollis, if you'd like to go to the podium.
Claudia Hollis. I'm branch manager at Free Center for Independent Living in Marysville. We are a resource and aging disability center. We serve Yuba City in Colusa County from our office in Marysville. First of all, I just want to say that we're very pleased about the proposed funding of $10,000 for our Fix It program. The Fix It program happens to be our most utilized program that we have in our office. Just to give you a little bit of perspective, 3 years ago, we thought we were doing good when we served over 200 consumers in a year, which goes from October to September for our budget purposes, recording purposes. Last year, we served over 400 consumers. And here we are in May, and we're surpassing 500 consumers. And over 80% of the consumers that we serve are over the age of 60. So more and more we're seeing the issues that we used to deal with people at younger ages with disabilities. We are seeing the same request, the same need from seniors, because they have a very different mindset than our grandparents and our parents had. They're very savvy in technology. Um, their main desire is to remain in their homes as long as possible and to remain in the community, to be involved in community activities and be able to access those activities and services. And so we do a lot of work to enable people to be able to do that and to remain in the community and remain in their home. We also get funding from Area 4 Agency on Aging for our Fix It program, and that's for the county. And we have been, let's just say, we have been put on notice because we are overperforming as far as Area 4 is concerned, and they want an answer for that. And my answer is that we are simply reflecting what is happening throughout our society, throughout our nation. We have seniors that are aging. We've got a lot more seniors every day that are turning 60 and older, and it's just a reflection. So I come here tonight because I can't tell you how much this program is needed, and I hope that you will take the time to look at the report. And we can't continue down the path that we have of the type of housing that we have designed in the past. We have an aging housing stock, and it's very unaccessible for a lot of seniors. And they're coming to us to get minor home repair like grab bars for the bathroom, handrails, minor electrical repair, minor plumbing repair, because they can't do it themselves, but they can't afford a more expensive way to do it. And so they're looking for us for the free services that they can get from our volunteers. It means that we have to create more accessible housing. And I noticed in the report that the Regional Housing Authority said that they have not received any requests for accessible housing for Section 8. Perhaps that's true, but I think a lot of it has to do with people with disabilities are probably saying, I'll just take whatever housing unit I get, and then we're having to come after the fact and try to fix it for them so that it makes it inhabitable for them.
All right, Claudia, I need to have you wrap up. You're exceeding your 3
Okay.
minutes. All right.
And I will
Thank
come the next meeting.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And next speaker on this is Elaine Miles.
Thank you. I really have a question. I'd like to know how the perimeters are set up and why it doesn't go west of Walton. Is that because you haven't officially taken over our area that you annexed many years ago?
I will let staff answer that question. That's it. So, unless somebody else wants to speak on this item. All right.
So obviously you can see we have a great partner in Freed and with Claudia who provides just amazing services. So thank you, Claudia. Also, she's amazing with her reporting, which a big part of the CDBG program is reporting back to the federal government of the uses. And it's nice to have partners like her. As relates to Mrs. Miles' comments, it has nothing to do with that area of Walton. It really has to do with census tracts and census tracts. So the economic data that comes out of each census tracts qualifies areas to be inside of a neighborhood revitalization strategy. As part of our documentation, it also talks specifically about how that neighborhood revitalization strategy was put together. So it has nothing to do other than data that we have to justify the use of CDBG funds to create that map.
All right, thank you. All right, is there anyone else like to speak on this item? Seeing none, close the public hearing, bring it back to the council for action.
I'll make a motion to move staff's recommendation.
All right, a motion, and a second. Any further comments?
So, Mr. Mayor, just as a point of clarification, your action this evening is to continue the public hearing. So this will be back at your following meeting next in May.
All right, thank you.
This was just to provide an opportunity for any additional comments.
All right, so we don't have any
Thank
action
you.
to take tonight
Other than to continue that public hearing.
we do need to continue it. All right. All those in favor of continuing the item, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Item is continued. All right.